celebrated her 91st birthday, so quite an old lady. And one thing that's very significant for her is to be a passionate dancer. So when you look up to the ceiling or side walls, they all show Melinda. It's in London, in Vienna, in Bayreuth. And she wrote a book about dancing. And at the age of 24, she was nominated to be the prima ballerina assoluta of the Opera House in Budapest. That's very good. From Austria again, to Eisenstadt. But you know, we are very close to the border, to Hungary. And so they went on to Switzerland, where Melinda is still living today. Also look on the sides, on the ceiling up there. Because you can read names there like Bulgaria, Transylvania, Moldavia. You saw this table, and you had to buy it, of course. Yeah, artist was Giuseppe Briati, around 1750. And Venice was, and is still today, famous for its glass artists. Maybe you know Murano glass, very famous. Here you see a nice example out of those factories. That means he used Turkey's glaciers. And so we, in our time, tried to reproduce those lost pieces. But we couldn't reach the same quality like people ages, 14th century. Here, a Baroque wall, a classical wall, and a not very beautiful one out of the 60s of the last century. So this one is not very old, about 50 years. And you can see the castle is changing still today. Also behind the stove, old paintings. Yeah, and they always heated those stoves from behind. There is still 1 mile left of those fascinating between the walls. Still there. It was also Nicholas who rebuilt a small hunting castle in Hungary into a very big palace, and he called it Esterhazy. And on Esterhazy, he loved to have big parties. And there is also a funny story according to one of those parties, because one day the Austrian Empress Maria Theresia visited one of those parties. And she wanted to have a, you call it sleigh ride on snow, yeah? Yeah, but the only problem was, this was in the middle of summer, so no snow, yeah, unfortunately. But the prince couldn't say no, wasn't allowed. And so he simply ordered to bring out salt in the garden. And the empress was able to have a sleigh ride on salt. Yeah, and salt was extremely expensive back then. So now you can imagine the richness of the Esterhazy. This factory only existed for 44 years, so a very short time. And here you see the worldwide biggest remaining collection out of those factories. There are still 141 pieces left from originally 207. And it's silver. And they produced it in Vienna around 1790. And it's got a very high percentage of silver in it, so 98% silver. With a total weight of 600 kilograms, which is about one. He gave this big heritage and the kids to his family, but also a big amount of liabilities. And here you see his, I think they call it certificates of debt. Oh. Yeah, money he had to pay, penny bills. And the Esterhazys had to sell about 300 pictures to get rid of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Princess Leopoldina Esterhazy, the young lady with the longer toe, dressed in latest fashion on pier style. In the background, the Gloriette in Eisenstadt. And when you look at her feet, they look a little bit strange. Aren't they? Too small, not in order. And it's told that the Esterhazys, they didn't pay the painter. And in thanks, he painted her that way. Because he didn't get the money, so... Yeah.
Wow.
It's Maria Josefa Hermenegilde von Esterhazy. And yeah, the thing that's very interesting is she will look at you all the time again. And her shoe follows you too. One from the left to the right, the shoe. Saint Constantine.
Oh, Constantine.
2,000 years old. So.
Wow.
I just laughed at it. Just smiling. Alright, notice It is. Yeah. You take pictures with